Good afternoon, and welcome to Faithful Organizer, Organizer of the Month. My name is Sangeeta Evans, and I'd like to introduce to you our Organizer of the Month, Deborah Zechini. She is the owner of Order in the House from Carey, North Carolina. And she was the first girl, being the first girl in a family of 7 kids. It fell to her to assist her mother of 7 children in day-to-day household responsibilities. And thankfully, her mother was a very organized person, so it rubbed off on her nicely. And she's also a former airline employee and has always loved traveling to do for fun and for organizing jobs. And throughout her organizing career, she's completed 150 hours of extensive specialized organizational training, and she received her certification to be an organizer coach. I am so proud to introduce Deborah. Thank you for joining us, Deborah.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome. And she's also written our month's devotion called 10 Things a Professional Organizer Will Never Say. And you got to know that that's the first thing I read. I said, oh, I got to make sure I check off one of them. So for those, who are listening in, please check out her blog. And today we're just going to get to know her real quickly for a few minutes and something personal about her and, how long she's been in the business and why did you start your business, Deborah?
I would say back in 2003, I was working for the major airlines and they filed for Chapter 11 because of the 9/11, mess and what it did to the airlines. And I thought to myself, if they don't come out of this Chapter 11 bankruptcy, then I'm going to be in trouble. So I thought, what at this time in my life, what I really like to do. And I thought about the lady friend that would always call me when she wanted to move. She called me Magic Fingers because she just loved what I did. And she was wonderful to me. She made me feel great. She was actually the wife of a gospel singer. And so that's why they traveled a lot and moved a lot. And so I thought about, well, that's what I really like to do. And then I saw an article about an organizer in New York that did this. And I went, well, there you go. So I think it was kind of like I didn't go at it professionally. I just like, okay, let's do this. This sounds like good fun. So I did. And then a year later, I found out there was a whole national association of organizers. And so I joined and went to the conference. And I guess that's how I got started. And I'm happy, happy, happy. I love what I do. I am so, so happy. I don't want to stop. I can't get enough of it.
That's amazing. Share something when you went to your first conference. Tell me a little bit about it.
So I was kind of scary because I didn't know what to expect. So I get there and the first night, I'm rooming with someone. I have no idea who they are. And it happens to be one of the founders, Beverly Clower. She comes into my room and I was like, I didn't know until later who she was. And we've maintained a friendship since then. And she's just lovely. So that was, and there was so much learning going on. It was just nice to have her there as support.
What a small world, right?
Yeah. See how God shows up?
Yeah. How long have you been a Christian, by the way?
Oh, I was born that way, I guess you could say.
Wow.
I born into a family of believers and have always been one. So
That's amazing. How do you incorporate your faith into your business? Or how do you?
It's just magical how the jobs come to me. People just call and the right ones call. I hardly have to do much vetting. It's just like it was meant for us to be together to work. But sometimes like they'll call and they'll cancel and I'll think, okay, so God, what are we going to do now? Am I supposed to be helping somebody else, or is this a day for me to go home and do office work? And somebody will pop into my head and they'll give them a call and they'll go, yes, please come now, or whatever. Sometimes it works out that way. And sometimes I go home and do office work. So again, it's just kind of magical. So
That's like God just blesses you, right?
yes, he does. He shows up all the time. And he fills up my schedule when it needs to be, and he gives me breaks when I need it. So
your business is doing well.
Yes, I'm 69 and I am still rocking and rolling. And I have tons of energy and I love my clients. They're so fun and I love the stories they tell. It's just the best job. So
It is.
I get to use my gifts and it's just How wonderful is that?
That's amazing. That's very
It
nice.
is. It is.
Ask you, to share one of your favorite organizing tip. I'm sure over.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Since I work a lot with people that have ADHD, I would have to say they have to learn what their modality is and how they think and function and process, and set up systems that work with the way that they think. Because if I set it up for the way I think, that might not help them. So that's where my organizing coaching skills come into play. I ask them the questions to help pull out of them what works for them, what does that system look like, And that's the fun part, is you get to be creative. You get to think outside the box and find some new way to help them. But I always say, let's set up a system where you gravitate to. Like if you bring in the mail and you leave it on the kitchen counter and your office is upstairs, is the mail actually going to make it upstairs? Maybe you should create a system like right here.
That's great.
So I don't know. I guess that's one of my organizing tips. Does that sound good?
That sounds great. So pretty much wherever they tend to gravitate towards, just make a system right then and there, right?
Yeah,
So
because it's kind of hard to change those habits. And if that's if that's where their body is speaking to them, then let's work with that, instead of trying to make their body do something that doesn't feel natural to them.
that is an
So,
excellent tip. I like that.
oh,
So
thank you.
that's what makes it so personalized systems, right?
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
That's so cool. Such a nice, happy face and such a great pleasure.
Well, who doesn't like to talk about organizing, right?
Yes, so excited. Yes. And
Yeah.
all of us and to all the other listeners, if you have a chance, please check out Deborah's blog at faithfulorganizers.com. And I know you will be blessed by it. Thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.